Hey, B, Jamie, that's me here. I'm back because I just want to have a quick chat about Nicki Minaj. All right. I'm not going to play any video, but for the people that don't know, all right, Nicki Minaj recently sat down with Turning Point USA. Okay. A organization that is multiple things to it, right? An organization that really pushes a lot of far right agendas and views and things of that nature. Okay. They are anti a lot of things. Okay. This organization used to belong to Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, unfortunately, was killed like a few months ago. His wife has now been taken on the charge, leading the charge in pushing forward with Turning Point USA. Miss Ma'am has yet to take a break to truly grieve. She has been out here pushing the organization. And with that, she recently had a sit down with Nicki Minaj, okay? Onika Tanya is who she had to sit down with. And it's very ironic that Nicki was a part of that platform, considering the fact that Charlie did not think highly of her at all. If it was up to Charlie and he was still here, she would not be on that platform. Okay. Basically, I feel like Nicki was used as a pawn, just a little piece, but at the same time, when I think about being used as a pawn, it's like maybe the person didn't know, they weren't aware of the agenda or the reason as to why a person would use them in a certain way. And I feel like I can't necessarily say pawn because I feel like she was highly aware. She knew what she was doing. It is what it is. Okay. She's been over here hyping up Trump and his people, his administration for the longest over here on Twitter. She went to speak at the UN talking about Christians and stuff. And so she decided to come and have this sit down at Turning Point USA. And a lot of different people have their own theories and things about why she went to have this sit down. I don't know. But what I will say, though, right out the gate, is that honestly, I'm really not surprised by anything that MAGA Mirage decides to do, has done, and will continue to do. Honestly, I don't think we should be surprised by a lot of these celebrities for real, for real. Okay? Because for some reason, people be in the struggle, and when they all of a sudden start making some money, child, they just can't relate to us at all. Okay? And I understand at some point in your life, and I'm going on a tangent, you can't relate because, you're living in a different world financially, but at the same time, you can relate because you may have had a similar history as somebody else. But anywho, that's neither here nor there because history tells you that, again, Nikki is not even an American. Okay? She may consider herself one now, being that she's been here for oh so long, but she's an immigrant. And in all honesty, a lot of these immigrants that's been here for decades and decades and saw themselves as Americans have been deported, girl. Did y'all not see clips of the Seacot situation that's been going on with people that's been sent down to El Salvador? It has been extremely crazy. 60 Minutes has tried to get that wiped off the map, but somehow it has still resurfaced because they did not shut it down in Canada. But aside from that, because that's not the topic at hand right now, we are still on Nicki Minaj. Listen, number one, I don't know if I said this already, but I'm not here to tell y'all who you should and should not support. Y'all gonna do what y'all want to do anyway, because it's just how y'all is, and I know that I am. Is she a part of my playlist at this time? No, ma'am. Miss Ma'am has been removed and deleted for quite some time. I'm not a fan, and I'm definitely not a Barb. I honestly think that it's really hard for Barbs out here because she kind of keeps letting them down, right? She keeps letting them down. And at what point does it become difficult for you to justify her actions, right? A lot of people have been calling into question about the Barbs. Like, wow, you guys are upset because she's sitting down with Turning Point, giving her opinion or her thoughts, her viewpoints on things. But y'all didn't draw the line when she married who she married. And I'm like, listen, I'm gonna let y'all fight all up and down Twitter in the comments because y'all gonna do that anyway because that's just how y'all is. And I'm just bringing to the forefront what the people have been saying. Now, I will say, I have to, give Nikki her things as far as what she's contributed to female rap. We appreciate you for the times that we did, enjoy your music and you doing what you do or whatever over there. So, good job. Congrats. Okay. Now, in this separate sector, girl, it does look not so great. It does look a bit crazy to me for her to have the sit down and for her to say some of the things that she said in this sit down, which to me was a bit contradictory in my personal. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I feel like for her to go, and I feel like it's one thing to, you know, have a difference of opinion, different of views. You may align with a certain political party or whatnot. Um, but I feel like I don't know. Like, if she's a Republican, that's not so much as my issue. We're gonna be on different sides, like with the, you know, the political party. Then you got some Republicans that don't even like this administration. So, you know, it happens. But for you to go and sit down with Turning Point, it's crazy to me because I feel like you sat down and you entertained a lot of conversations, or you entertained that conversation with this woman and others who undermine and dismiss the very audience that you've sat up here and built. You know what I'm saying? You sat down with a large group of people who would like to, if any way, shape, or form, if they can and get away with it, would wipe your audience out. Because let's be honest, a very, very vast majority of Nicki Minaj fans are young men that are gay, okay? And trans that support her. And you have quite a few women. There are some women as well, but I've been seeing so many people fall off from her over the past few days, looking at TikToks and stuff. They're saying that she got off Instagram because she was losing followers. Now, I didn't recall her getting back on Instagram. I thought that she had got off Instagram, didn't know she got back on there. And I guess she did. And they're saying that she deleted her account because she lost like 10 million followers. Again, not sure how true that is, but yeah, that's what's been going on. But like, it just really looks kind of crazy to me because some of the things that she said, which I don't fault anybody for taking offense with, because I didn't really like what she said myself. I'm like, why would you sit up there and say boys just be boys? Like, it's okay to just be a boy. Like, basically she is against, you know, younger kids being able to transition or whatever the case is, right? And some people find that hard to differentiate, you know, the younger kids wanting to transition versus the older people. They feel like, okay, you don't like trans as a whole, and then for you to turn around and say boys just be boys is, you know what I mean? Boys just be boys. Okay. They don't want to see young men um that are of age, right? They don't want to see these young men dressed up in skirts and makeup on and have their wigs on and their hair done. Like, they don't want to see that. They want to see their idea of what a young boy and a young man is supposed to look like. That's what they want to see. So when she says it's okay to be a boy, just be a boy, right? But then at the same time, you go on to carry the conversation and tell black women that they should be a bit nicer to white women, and then to tell black women, just because while you guys are over there bigging yourself up, it's not okay to put these people down. Like, it just, to me, it's like, girl, do you not know our history? Like, what? Do you not know the real beauty standard here? Like, what? Do you not know? In my personal, had it not been for YouTube, I don't feel like Black beauty would have been that catered to in my personal, because let's not act like the girls did not get on YouTube decades ago, okay, and start teaching the people how to do their makeup, how to do their hair, they 4C hair, whatever texture hair. Okay, that's when all the other companies decided, oh, we're gonna buy into this. But when they saw how they could really make money and monetize off of us for real, that's when they wanted to act like. And the first company I'm thinking about is Suave, and how they didn't have products for black people. Then all of a sudden, they want to start offering some stuff for our texture hair. It's just like real interesting. And then now you got all these different makeup people that want to start sending products and stuff. Oh wow, I see this person is getting views on this page. Like, anywho, girl, um, calm down. Let's not act like we all don't know what the true, okay, beauty standard is here in America. And you talk about some like, y'all shit. Basically, you telling us the blue ivy. Calm down, calm down, calm down. Let's treat these ladies nice. And it's like, damn, BIT. I hate when they have people like this on their platforms. They find that one or two black person and they use those people to speak for a general mass of people. Like, is you cool? That don't speak for me. I'm so sorry. So sorry to tell you, don't care how you feel today, tomorrow, or into the next year. Like, what? That's crazy. And it was so contradictory about letting these white ladies know, and some other women, oh, you guys, it's okay if you want to, look pretty that day, and you're really feeling yourself, and you're this and you're that, and like bigging them up. And I'm like, why is it okay for you to do that with them, but then turn around and tell the boys just to be boys? If they feel better about themselves when they probably got a wig on their head, or they got them a piece of makeup on, some lashes or something like that, like, huh? Why is that a problem? Y'all gonna feel how y'all want to feel, but I just don't be caring that much for real. Who this person is smashing, what they decide to do in their own closed doors, like whatever you do is what you do. Okay, long as it ain't harming nobody, like I'm so confused. And y'all sit up there and say these people what they shouldn't have, but then be beating down their door because you want to make sure they paying their taxes. Like, is you cool? Anywho, I really just came on to ramble to let y'all know that your queen kind of looks a little crazy, and a lot of y'all gonna stick beside her. And I'm not telling you what you should or shouldn't do. Okay, you make whatever decision you choose to make for yourself. Okay, I just say don't be getting mad at other folks if they want to jump off the train. I've been seeing folks saying, a Barty gang, excuse me, can you let me in? Okay, Barty gang been like, not about to hear my chin chin chin, girl. It's not going down over here. We're not letting you in. We not rocking with you on a boat nor with a goat. Like, are you okay? We want you to keep that same energy. So it's been real crazy. People been trying to get over there with the hotties. And I have been around here cackling. Okay. But it is a disappointment to kind of see the very person that a lot of you guys, and maybe not y'all, but them support, doesn't seem to really support y'all. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't really seem to support y'all like that. And it's a no shade or disrespect. And I'm not saying, I'll just say this: the Christians have gotten more support than some of y'all have that, support Nicki. I know some people gonna get mad at this post. I really don't care if you get mad or not. Your girl look a little crazy out here. I know a lot of you guys are ready to bring up Beyonce and Jay-Z sitting at a table or whatever the case is. Honestly, Nicki came out better just sitting at the damn table and shutting the fuck up. Okay, and let the people think what they gonna think. But no, she came out with a whole story statement. Boys be boys. That came out of her mouth, nobody else's mouth. Okay, black women, be nicer to the white women, not white women be nicer to the black women, because of their ancestors, as well as them continuing to date, has endured so much. Okay, in so many different facets. When you look at the numbers of, deaths when it comes to giving birth in this country as a black woman, and for a woman that has sat up there and gave birth at her late age, according to, the docs or whatever the case, and she gonna sit up here and say what she say, and then you have to be reminded that she's a fucking immigrant. But anyway, um, yeah. Like, we could deflect all we want, but y'all gonna have to be mad at y'all queen, because she the one that went over there and sat across from Erica Kirk and decided to pander to the audience. That's what she decided to do at the end of the day, But I'm not telling you who to support or not support. Okay, I can I'm not that's not my I'm just calling out what kind of looks crazy to me. We all gonna support. You got people that still support R. Kelly. Girl, I'm sitting up here with a damn Chris Brown shirt on. Okay. Um, you got, I mean, y'all, some of y'all still over there paying to go see Trey Songz. Like, y'all gonna do what y'all want to do because that's just how y'all is. And I'm not here to control or tell you what you should or shouldn't do. I'm just saying that it does not look good in my personal that Nicki got on this platform, said what she said, and knowing that a vast majority of the people she spoke down on is her audience. But you know what? Some part of me is like, well, shit. I do. Should I fault her? I really shouldn't fault her. Honestly, in my person, I feel like I should fault the fans, because you guys have upheld her in so many things for so long that, I mean, child, when she get up here and say that, it ain't like, I mean, y'all gonna continue to uphold her in that too. Not a lot of y'all, but some of y'all. So I guess just let her keep on kicking, right? Because it's really given to me. Now when I look at Nicki and the irony of this, of what I'm about to say, it's really giving Erica Mena, you can't handle my mouth, motherfucker. And she gonna do what she wanna do, because that's just how she is. And ain't nobody finna stop her. So y'all can argue about that down below in the comments. But the irony is the fact that Erica Mena went on to have babies by Nicki Minaj's ex-boyfriend. And again, you can't handle my mouth, motherfucker, because I'm going to say what I want to say and I'm going to get on whatever platform I want to get on. And my Barbs are still going to stand by me and support me. So who is y'all? Well, either way, good luck. Okay. Good luck to the people and everything. Hopefully things work out for her. I don't know. People are believing that the reason she sat down with Erica is because she hard out on that coin and she needs some money. Listen, they had better gave you some money. If you likely have taken a hit with your fan base not rocking with you as much as they used to, and maybe your people deleting your music, possibly DJs saying they're not gonna play your songs, IDK, you better have gotten paid for it instead of sitting up there taking the L like that and not have gotten anything from it, just up there tap dancing. Okay, doing all that shucking and jiving, then you had better got paid for it. Okay. But that's all I got. I just wanted to come give y'all my thoughts real quick. Matter of fact, before we get out of here, I do want to get into what Uncle Luke had to say about Miss Nicki Minaj. And then I also want us to tap into what Khia, rapper down in Miami, had something to say, okay, about this situation with Nicki Minaj. So we are going to get into that before I get out of here. So let me go ahead and get that up on the screen for y'all real quick, okay? Here we are. Let's check this out.
Wow. Nicki Minaj. Nicki, some of these women, they lonely for attention. They're lonely for attention. I'm trying to, Nicki Minaj, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Can somebody talk to her in your camp? Are you still affiliated with somebody? Nicki Minaj, Turning Point? Do you really know what these fucking people are all about? You know what they're all about? You know what they're on? You're gonna sit down there with Kirk's wife? These people done said everything in the world about black people. They deliberately targeted black people. Nicki, have you lost your fucking mind? Are you serious? I mean, you start fucking with Cardi B, and I guess you need some more attention. Are you lonely for attention, Nicki? Are you really lonely for attention?
Child, that's crazy.
So you see Nicki going after everybody who got a new album and wanting to talk shit, and now you over there with Charlie Kirk. It's like you're looking for attention right now, Nicki. Nicki, you're looking for attention. Kanye West go fuck around with Trump, and you, Nicki, you want to go out here with Turning Point. You're sitting up there with Kirk's wife. If this man, the founder of Turning Point, who's unalive, said you're a bad influence, why are you over there sitting on the stage with them? What are you doing, Nicki?
She probably did it as a slight to them Kirk ass too. Charlie, nanny boo boo, you're not here, but I am, and now I'm going to sit on your platform, the very platform that you talk shit about me on. Yikes, this is crazy. Let's keep going though. I don't know why she did it.
Oh, so the white guy could say something negative about you, but when the black girl say something negative about you, you lost your motherfucking mind.
Ooh.
So you over there sitting down with them. What did they give you, Nicki?
I hope it was a coin.
You like Tariq Nasheed and all them, in my opinion, them giving them whatever to then turn black people against black. Them people don't like black people. They don't like you. They don't like you. They don't like your kind. The founder said it. He thinks you're a bad influence on black culture, people.
I got a few things.
And you over there fucking with these people? You need that much attention, Nicki? Go do a fucking record and get some attention. Go do a fucking record, Nicki. You're too talented. You're too bright. You're too smart to know that you have no business fucking with them people. Absolutely no business fucking with them people. Meanwhile,
This is one thing I want to say, you know, when I saw the video going around of that man saying, oh, you know, she's a bad influence for the culture or whatever the case is, and he may have been right. But however, your white ass don't get to sit up there and tell us what's good and not good for our culture. You know what wasn't good for our culture? Y'all putting them fucking drugs in the communities, right? That wasn't good for the culture. It's a lot of shit that y'all did. That water down there to Flint, Michigan was not good for the culture. Y'all stealing folks' land was not good for the fucking culture. Hello? So don't tell me anything. I don't want to hear no white person coming down to nowhere telling us what is good and not good for our culture. We'll decide on what's good and what's not good. And as for this person in the comment, over here saying Nicki will never be lonely in life. She can have 1 million people around her if she wanted. This isn't about that. 200 plus dumbasses liking a comment. You having people around you does not necessarily dictate how lonely you are. Your mental state determines that. I don't know why y'all be acting stupid to the fact that there have been tons of people that have been around somebody. Person just was the life of the party, had a wonderful time at this party. I just saw them last week or this day or last night, and they turned around and clapped themselves. Shut up. Okay? That lady probably lonely AF as much as she gets online rambling. But anywho, okay? And they gonna be mad, and I'm gonna let their ass be mad because I really don't give a damn. But anywho, don't say nothing about my Nicki. I can hear their ass now. But anywho, let's get into Khia, because Khia has some things to get off her chest when it came to Miss Onika as well. And I can imagine how the people are ready to go in and lay into Miss Khia. So let us go ahead and get into what Khia had to say.
Mega and the white folks and Charlie Kirk wife and all this coming up and carrying on. What the fuck you got going on, Nicki? If you don't get your ass back to Trinidad, you bet. I guess you had to pretend to be Donald Dump's friend so he wouldn't send your immigrant ass back over there to Trinidad, because you know you ain't no U.S. citizen. Anyway, we the people want Kenneth Petty pussy snatching ass on the docket. Meow. I said not meow. 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 You know what, Gag Nation, for not telling Gag Order, we the people want your husband on the docket, Nick Van Dyke, for not telling you to sit the fuck down, Gag Order, and for failing as a man and as a husband. I'm a group of the people on that because you is out of order. This is the case of if you don't get your crazy deranged ass wife, Kenneth snatch bitches by the pussy Petty, you better. Let's talk about the order. We the people versus Kenneth Petty. Kenneth, grope a hoe. Use a hoe, because you ain't got shit but convictions.
What?
Petty, your broke pussy grabbing, no money having ass is being charged with habitual drugging of a delusional fat non-rapping ass bitch who hates herself and all the choices she's made in her fucking life. Leaving an endangered toddler at home with a drunk, drugged up, hungover, non-rapping ass mega slut, aka your wife who stays on the couch yelling at herself and at her phone all day and all night on Twitter while maxing out her Amex card in Queens with Bocce be her friends and the niggas on the block. Yelling at herself and at her phone all day and all night on Twitter while maxing out her Amex card in Queens with Bocce be her friends and the niggas on the block. Buying them chains and things, okay, and not telling your wife to go sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up.
Woo, child,
moving into a bitch house, increasing her dependency on you through drug use, while causing her to lose her house over judgment. You call for punching a saltine cracker overseas. You ain't learned to stay your ass over there too, while pretending to be her fucking security because you don't have a real fucking job. While she's busy being a keyboard Karen with mental health issues and a fucking drug addict that need to put the coquiana down, a Gag Order that stays running out of her nose. Not taking the phone out of her oh never, oh nigga, oh nika, oh hell no's hand. And disabling all her social media accounts until she gets the help that she needs. And having an old immigrant whore claim she is now mega just to get your predatory ass a pardon off the sex offenders list. And we the people say a real nigga ain't gonna have you going out this bad and so sad, Gag Order, like this every day without an intervention. That man don't love you. He don't give a fuck about you. He hope that you die so he can take all of your money that you got left. Evidently it's not a lot because you can't even save your house. Always tweeting for 40 days and 40 nights. You know what? Doja Cat got it right about you when she was in Bangkok. They sent a video in where she had all kind of powder going up her nose. I don't know if she was just being herself or gagging you, but it looked like she was gagging you. You Johnson & Johnson baby powder head bitch. I'm sick of this whole. I don't have nothing to say about this bitch. Your husband ain't shit because he need to get some control of you. Okay? But he ready for you to clock up out of here so he can take the little bit of money you got left. I guess. You know what, girl? The little bit of fans that you had, they're gone. Okay? Since you went for and
Child, Khia is crazy. Khia is crazy. She just went in on this lady. But listen, I want to get into what some of the fans had to say over here on the TikTok as well before we get out of here. So let us do that.
Nicki Minaj, Nicki the Bob, Nicki the Ninja, Nicki the Harajuku Barbie. I want to start off with a disclaimer and an empathetic touch, because from black woman to black woman, I think that there's always room for that. I think everyone can agree that Nicki Minaj will go down in history as one of the greatest rappers of our time. What she has done for specifically women in rap is going to be studied, has already been studied. Her style, her flow, her cadence, the things that she did branding wise, all things that should be celebrated. Amazing work. And I think that the experience that she had in the industry as a black woman, it's obvious that there is some trauma there. And I think it led her to making maybe not the best decisions as it relates to relationship building, which created a kind of distance between her and her peers. And we watched Lifetime how that kind of broke down the fabrics of the relationships between women in rap. And I have a lot of empathy, understanding that this industry is very, very grimy and dirty, and there's really no telling the type of experience that she had. And I think there's always a place of understanding for that. Now that I got my pleasantries out the way, I want to be very clear. I will never support a coon. Yes. When you go against your own identity, whether that be being a woman, being a part of the LGBT community, being black, whatever, when you decide to actively go against your marginalized identity for personal gain, i.e. being a coon, you will lose every ounce of respect I have for you. There are a myriad of guesses of why Nicki Minaj is doing the things that she's doing. A few of her stands are predicting that this is a grand scheme that Todd set up to pardon her husband. And to that I say, well, that's stupid. Your husband's not even in jail. You know what I'm saying? He served his time for that rape. So what do we do now? And at what cost? And I think it's important for y'all to understand that it's not just for personal gain, right? Yes, that's a part of it. She's absolutely getting something out of this agreement, because we've never really watched her engaged in politics before in this way. So yes, there is something that our ex-sister is getting out of this exchange, right? I need some of y'all to understand and grasp the idea that these also align with her politics, right? We talk about how often we don't know celebrities. We don't know these people in real life, granted. But dare I say, I do have expectations of black folks, regardless, if I know them or not. And I think the bare minimum expectation is that you at least fight for the rights of your own people. And going to a Turning Point USA event hosted by the very people who want your black ass out of this country is just so heartbreaking. And I know a lot of people are getting their jokes off, as am I. I will never shy away from a good joke. I think it's also very embarrassing for us. And it's hurtful to us to watch people that we admire turn their back on us for what? Getting up on that stage and spewing anti-trans rhetoric in the most slick, cowardly way that you did, knowing a huge chunk of your base is a part of the LGBT community, knowing how comfortable you made them feel to express their light and love for you, just to turn your back on the very fan base that you have, is disturbing to me. Getting on that stage and saying that Donald Trump was attractive was very disturbing to me. You got up there, shucked and jived in a 30-inch bust down when they would just as easily spit in your face. Embarrassing. There's a divestment that I think we all need to make in celebrity, right? We've had this conversation a myriad of times. We should not expect our celebrities to be political figures, and that I agree to, right? We should not be looking to just regular celebrities to give us political opinions, especially when they don't understand politics. And there's a difference between not understanding politics or not really getting into it, and maybe not even standing up, more of the Drake, right? You ain't really saying much at all, so whatever. And getting your ass up on a KKK stage and letting us know where you stand. Even if this is all a ploy to get some money, to get some pardons, to get back at damn Cardi B. I don't know what the fuck you could possibly be doing. I don't care. And it sucks because you can't undo it. You can apologize, but you cannot undo the damage that you've done, because what you're doing is you're giving validity to that base. What you're doing is you're helping them. All the while, you're just a pawn. You think, girl, that's all I got.
A lot of people underestimate just how far Nicki Minaj is willing to go to try and one-up somebody that she is intimidated by, and that's why so many people are disillusioned by her most recent behavior. But to be quite honest, she has always been this kind of person and nothing has changed. The writing has been on the wall for quite some time now. It's not far-fetched to believe that Nicki Minaj is aligning herself with the Republicans as of right now because her mortal enemies within the music industry are aligned with the Democrats, and she feels as though she has been left out of the club. Just like it's not far-fetched to believe that the only reason why Nicki Minaj even got with Kenneth Petty in the first place is because Kenneth Petty is a dangerous criminal and a gang member, and her mortal enemy within the industry, who is Cardi B, is a part of that same gang within New York, and she wanted to be able to antagonize Cardi B freely without having to worry about being attacked. And it actually makes a lot of sense because in her most recent online spat with Cardi B, one of the things she said in her tweets is, "I outranked you in your own gang," which gives you a glimpse into the inner world and the mentality of Nicki Minaj and how she thinks. Like, she's very petty. She will compete over the most silliest, most stupid things, even if it destroys her. Like, she doesn't care how stupid she looks to the rest of the world. As long as she can have the upper hand and one up somebody that she doesn't like, she is willing to take that risk. I truly believe in my heart of hearts that this is why Nicki Minaj has been on the warpath that she's been on for the past few years now. Like, a lot of it has to do with hypervigilance from being destabilized by other female rappers such as Remy Ma, but I also think it has to do with the fact that she built her career on dominance, and once you build your career on dominating other people, anybody who poses a threat to your dominance has to be neutralized, at least in Nicki Minaj's mind. The reason why this is a plausible theory is because there was a point in time when Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion would release a single, and then all of a sudden Nicki Minaj would randomly drop a single on the same exact date as them to try and steal attention away from their music while also keeping her name trending in the algorithm. And it was always oddly timed, as if she knew exactly when their release dates were. Now, if you fast forward to her online spat with Lotto did reveal to us that Nicki Minaj told her on the phone, "Do you think I don't know everybody's release dates at every major record label?" And in the intro of her Chun Li single, she narrates, "I kept my spies on you. I didn't like what they reported back. You should have known that this was perfectly designed architecture." So Nicki Minaj has been signaling for a while now that she does have moles within the music industry who feed her information about other people's release dates, particularly people that she doesn't like, so that she can try and sabotage their releases by releasing on the same date as them and stealing attention away from their hype. Now, if we zone in on her beef with Roc Nation and Megan Thee Stallion, that actually tracks, because do you guys remember that photographer that was working for Megan Thee Stallion who randomly got fired for some undisclosed reason and also happened to be a Barb who then later sued Megan Thee Stallion for sexual harassment after being fired? Well, there was industry insider speculation that that photographer was actually working for Nicki Minaj as a double agent and was giving Nicki Megan's release date so that Nicki could sabotage it by releasing on the same day. And basically, the rumor is that because Nicki Minaj no longer has insider sources in Roc Nation, she has resorted to fighting overtly as opposed to engaging in a cold war with Megan. Now, when that's all said and done, Megan Thee Stallion releases 2 singles. She releases Cobra, and Nicki Minaj reacts on Twitter subliminally, and then she releases Hiss, and Nicki Minaj completely loses it. She goes on a 7-day spiral and makes a complete fool out of herself on the internet and releases a terrible diss track because she didn't realize that Megan had been studying her and her tactics and weaponized her own tactic against her, which is the subliminal jab, baiting the person into a reaction, and then feigning innocence to the public. And Megan completely outmaneuvered Nicki because Nicki was the one trying to bait Megan into addressing her directly, but Megan played it cool. She refused to be baited, and all of a sudden she throws in a slick jab and Hiss, and Nicki Minaj completely loses face in front of the entire world, giving Megan the upper hand in the spectacle of everything. I don't want this to be a dragged out analysis of Nicki Minaj's rap feuds. This is more of an overview of the psychology of Nicki Minaj and how she built her entire career off of dominating other women within the music industry, not just hip-hop music, but also R&B and hip-hop as well. When you've built your entire brand off of dominance, you can't not be dominant, otherwise your brand suffers an injury. And Nicki Minaj has been paying attention to the institutional power that surrounds people like Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Jay-Z, and Beyonce. It irritates her because she feels like she's not included in the club. So what does she do? She goes and sides with the Republicans instead to spite them, which is silly because they don't care about her and they're not paying attention to her, but she's paying attention to them because she has a need to be dominant all the time. It feels like an identity fracture when she is not dominating the situation in any capacity. And this is why Nicki Minaj has been on a warpath to self-destruction at all costs just to prove a point. And in my opinion, Jay-Z and Desiree Perez are not concerned with Nicki Minaj as much as her fans would like to believe. I do believe that Nicki Minaj came up with that lie so that she could look justified in attacking them because she doesn't like the fact that they support Megan Thee Stallion, who permanently fractured her image when the whole Hiss saga unfolded. She doesn't like the fact that Megan outsmarted her, made her look stupid, and she has been on a never-ending mission to destroy the foundation that supports Megan. So to sum this all up, Nicki Minaj is a spoiled brat who is obsessed with power and dominance, and she's willing to destroy everything that she's built just so that she can dominate the situation in the moment, even if it costs her everything, and that is quite a tragedy.
Nicki Minaj sitting on stage with the widow of a man whose neck we all saw snap, crackle, and pop in real time, talking about how much she adores and relates to the president and the vice president is not surprising because she has had to relate to convicted felons her entire life. Her brother and now her husband. When that head bozo in charge first began publicly pandering to this administration, a lot of people were thinking, oh, she's doing this with like an ulterior motive to try to get her husband's charges dropped, to try to get them to pardon her brother. Hell, I even thought that she was doing this to try to get the administration on her side with the takedown of Roc Nation. However, I think the main reason why we are watching watching her be a white man's whore, it's because the bitch is broke. She is broke. MC Hammer broke. A judge is quite literally about to force her to sell her home. She doesn't have any goddamn money. And the crazy thing about all of this is that her ditzy ass fans are still going to support her. Even though she quite literally, like last week, just said fuck trans children. Mind you, her entire fan base is gay. I don't know what it's going to take for y'all to wake up and smell the roses and realize that the only downfall to her career has been herself. Although it is very sad to watch her tarnish her entire legacy in her career, I would be lying if I said I didn't take joy in watching it.
Well, y'all just heard what everybody had to say, or at least some of the people. You heard what I had to say about the situation, as well as a few of the fans. You guys can leave your thoughts down below. Let me know how you're feeling about everything when it comes to this entire sit down and conversation. I'm Jamie, that's me. And of course, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film, I can feel it.